Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Patricia Jo Grover, the Goal Achievement Strategist, and I'm here today to talk about and share with you all about resilience. So it's time to pull up those big girl panties, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up those bootstraps because resilience is all about bouncing back and having that strength and resilience to continue on. So I want to share some tips and tactics today about how you can do this and make the most out of your life and get the most and the best results out of your life and live it to its fullest. So today I'm talking to you about tracking and leveraging those KPIs, those key performance indicators of how we balance. And we're talking those things, the KPIs of our time, our money, and our energy. So get ready. Are you ready? Yeah, all right. I'm so happy to see you guys being excited about this because it is about getting results and the results that we are looking for. So we're going to talk and this is going to be able to help you create more joy in your lives, and we can all use more joy. And it's all about the daily lives, so leveraging our time, and that's talking about calendaring. So we can't do that without having consistent planning days. And planning days are not we don't wait till one day a week to plan what we have going on in our next week, this calendar, right? We use that day to look at what we have coming up and to look at it and access and then look at what it is and how we can make the most out of whatever it is, whether it's a meeting, a conversation, the way that we are spending that time. So I want to share a tip with you. And I use this tip and I share this in my Design Your Destiny planning system. And that is for your day, just even one day. Look at first thing in the morning, look at who you're going to be meeting with that day and determine and look back and reflect on, well, how did that conversation go with that person that you had the last time? And give it a rating, a 1 through a 10. A 1 being you didn't feel so well about it, and a 10 you felt the best about it. So talking about this it's really important to take a look back and reflect on that last conversation, how you left that conversation feeling. Because when you go into and set your mind and looking, and this is adjusting of the mindset of how you want to go into this conversation that you're going to have with this person today, you're going to go into it wanting to have at least the same level of comfort with how you left that meeting, and or better. So what is it that you can do? What is it that you need to do to prep yourself emotionally, mentally for that call or that meeting? That will help you get better results. So I'm talking planning days. Put one day a week, putting that in your planner and calendar to make sure you're leveraging your time that you're spending in the best way, but also do for daily planning, because it's all about getting the most out of how you're spending your spending plan of your time, your money, and energy. Some people use the word budget, but I prefer to use how we choose to spend it, because when we spend something, we want to get something back for it. And that's what it's all about, right? It's all about having those results and getting those results. So I really want to talk to you about the importance of that, leveraging and tracking these things. Because if we, on our planning days, if we have if we're reviewing where we are, right, where we're at each planning day once a week, so we can look at where we are with our spending plan of our time, our money, and our energy. That will help us because we're the captain of our own ship, right? So we need to keep ourselves on course to achieving each milestone and to achieve each goal, so we get the end result we're looking for. So the planning days help keep us. So if we are swaying off track for whatever reason, the planning days, we can take and figure out what it is that has gotten off course and make those adjustments. Because also known as the ER doctor, Many people are familiar with those SMART plans, but I teach the smarter plan because our plans have to be both editable and revisable because things happen. Life happens to every single one of us, whether we're ready for it or not, in both life and business. But we're talking business right now. We need to, again, on those planning days, make those edits and revisions to where we are, where things have gone off track, so we can pull ourselves back in line with where it is we are trying to get to for the results that we're looking for. So the difference between an edit and a revision when we're talking with our plans, so not our planning, an edit, just think about when you're writing, when you're doing something writing. An edit is when you make a few tweaks here and there. It may be spelling, grammar, punctuation. That's an edit. So just a few little tweaks that we need to make to that plan. But a revision is when we need to go in and we have to change a sentence or an entire paragraph. We need to, it's like coming up against a detour, right? We come to a detour, we've got to go another way around. That's what it's all about. So giving up, that's why I say giving up is never an option. That's why it's important to have the resilience again, but in the fact of having that resilience, we have to have those tools in our toolbox in order for us to keep that resilience going, because we are going to come up against obstacles. Every single one of us know this. So I want to share something else and talk to you more about resilience, because with that, it's not just it's more than a mindset. It's more than anything that most people don't even really think about. But I want to give you another parameter on what can help you to have and build that resistance. Because resilience comes from when you already have faced a challenge and you've picked yourself up, dusted yourself off, and took that deep breath to begin again. And from that, we always look at what is it that we learned? What did we learn from having to pick ourselves up and dust ourselves off? The resilience is that bounce back, right? That bounce back from what we have faced. So I want to talk to you a little bit more about why and the different things. So another thing for you that I want to share is the power of the pause. Many of us entrepreneurs, we know when it comes to work and what we do and the passion we have for what it is we do. Many of us just keep going, keep going, keep going. And you hear people burning the candle at both ends. And it's no easy task to be an entrepreneur. Many people think, oh, I'm just going to start my own business and I'm not going to live by anybody else's rules. I'm going to do it the way that I want to do it. But that's not the whole thing. Being an entrepreneur is not for those faint of heart, because we end up putting in more work and more effort in, because it is our project, our passion that we have. So many of us as entrepreneurs forget to take the pause and the power of the pause and what it can bring to us. And I want to share with you why the power of pause is so important. Why reflection, right? Reflection of, and that's where it comes into planning days and looking at where we have been. I'm not saying look in the rearview mirror all the time, but I am looking and talking about looking and reflecting on what it is we have been through and the struggles that we had within our businesses and learn from them. So really thinking about this. So the power of the pause, it builds reflection. I mean, being reflective builds, and it builds the resilience. So I want to talk to you about this. You know, we live in a world that it's running on acceleration all the time. It's go, 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 whether it's the stuff in social media and the people, the scroll. Attention factors have really levels. The level of intent, people being able to pay attention to things has really, you know, the attention span is like that. And it's scary. It really is scary when you think about it. And so that's TV, news, everything is going, 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 and social media and our lives and our, and everything going on in our lives and business. It's so hard to keep up with everything. That's why planning days, again, help keep us on track. And I keep going back to those. So I really hope that people start taking a look at this. And if you're not doing it, start doing it and tracking your KPIs. Because remember, I'm talking about leveraging those key KPIs to get you those results that you're looking for, but also to be able to create the life that you desire, both the life and business that you desire. Because we all just have the 24 hours in a day, but it's how we use it. So I talk about and taking intentional action all the time. And this is all part of that. It's all part of everything's a part of my proprietary conquering skills education that I work with clients and I teach all the time and talk about from stages. But we live in that world that is constantly going, going, going. We have to have more goals, more hustle, more content, more content. We have to just everything is more, more, more. But I want you to think about something. I want to offer you the thought of just taking a pause. Just taking a pause. Taking that breath. Just taking that moment to reflect. Because you're not behind. You're not behind. It's because you're growing. You're growing. And you're learning. And we need to take that time. That's all a part of the whole process for us to be able to evaluate where we are, learn from what we've had for positive or negative things that have happened, learn from that. If it's stuff that we've learned that has been positive, then we say, we want to do more of that. If it's something that's been negative, we say, well, we don't want to do that anymore. Let's make an edit or revision and try this. It's all a part of what we need to do. And that reflection and taking that time to do it on our planning days is so key. It is so very key. And many people overlook this. Many people overlook this. So, and growth, my friends, it needs to be that space. We need to integrate it into what it is we're doing and into the planning day. So integrate it into our calendar. So why is reflection essential? It's not just essential. It's often it's skipped over. People skip over the time to reflect because again, it's go, 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 move from one thing to another to another. And that's not really what's going to get you the traction and the growth that you need. You need to leverage and track your KPIs, those key performance indicators. And in your business, it may be different things, but let's for the moment talk about our spending plans of our time, our money, and our energy. Because remember, I want to help you get more joy as an entrepreneur. I want to help you get more joy out of your life and enjoy what you're doing with your business and get you more balanced lifestyle, get you more balance within your work and life. Because I want you to getting the results that you want, but also with being to create that life, the life in which you love and you want to live. That's what it's all about. So when was the last time? I want you to think about this. When was the last time that you asked yourself? When was the last time that you asked yourself, what did I learn from this month? From this month, when you're doing your end of month, what did I learn from this month? Or even on your planning day, what did I learn from last week? What is it that I learned? Now, it's not just thinking about it this way, not just what was it you produced, what did you get through, or what milestones did you reach last week, or what was it you achieved or accomplished. not just what you fixed either, because as an entrepreneur, we're always problem solving. We're always trying to fix something. So not looking at that, just that either. And it's not just what you still have left on your to-do list, because I don't know about you guys, but I always have things left on my to-do list. I do. And I believe many entrepreneurs do. So what if, what if you shifted? Okay. What if you shifted? But what shifted in you? What was it that made a difference in you that past week, that past month? What was it? What growth did you have? What did you feel shift? What got clarified for you? What gave you more clarity? What maybe what softened you and allowed you to have a more open mind to things that you may not have had before, or to think about things in another way? What did that for you? And what strengthened you? What gave you more empowerment? What made you feel like I can take on the world? What is it? So I want you to take that time on planning days and look at these things, because it's huge, it's key. And again, that all has to do with reflection. When we talk, and in many people, again, when we're talking about reflection, we look in the mirror, right? We look in the mirror and we see ourselves. We see ourselves and we're critical of ourselves. Every person is. We're critical of ourselves, sometimes more than any other people would ever be. And I want us, again, so it's a double-edged sword here, because I want us to look at all of the things, but not being critical, but reflecting and learning from. Because we need to utilize everything. These tools, I teach about having our tools in our toolboxes, and that's what I'm sharing with you guys today. Tips and tactics and tools to build that resilience, to leverage the KPIs, our time, our money, and our energy, to create more joy, get more results, and have the value, so that we can live the life of our dreams, right? And have the business that is going to bring us that work-life balance. And that's so important, so important. So I want to talk about now that reflection in the mirror, but also what we're doing for reflecting for our business is so valuable. Reflection actually rewires our brains, and many people don't realize that. It really does. If you take the time, and sometimes it's important, so very important, and can be more valuable investing in ourselves. Now, this is an investment in ourselves, to take that time, because guess what? Time is just as valuable as money. So the time that we spend, right, our spending plans of our time, it's how we spend it. If we're spending that time on ourselves, right, rewiring our brain, reflecting, taking that breath, stepping back and looking and utilizing what we have just, our past week, our past month, utilize these things as the tool to move us further, but keeping us on track and utilizing that. So it rewires the brain when you take that time to step back, do those planning days for tracking your KPIs, whatever yours may be in your business, right? Because reflection, it boosts clarity. We all need to be clear on what it is that we're trying to achieve, right? Those milestones, those big, bold, bodacious dreams and goals. We need to be clear about those. So reflection boosts the clarity because it keeps pulling us back to back on course. It also gives us confidence. It builds up our confidence that when we see, oh, I did, that was good, I got good results, it bolsters the confidence. Okay, I'm ready to take on more. But if you've had a challenge or a struggle and you're not feeling so good about how things are going, when you reflect and you take what you've learned from that to bring yourself back on course, what does that do? Don't you notice that it empowers you? It empowers you to be able to take on and move further forward. And problem solving, it helps with problem solving. And we're all going to come up against challenges. It's going to happen. There's no way around it. I promise you. If you haven't had challenges and faced them in business, you are going to. So be ready for that, but utilize these tools that I'm sharing with you today. It turns our experiences into wisdom. And it's so very important. And think about this. Wisdom is a tool. And we learn from from ourselves, right? And what we have been through. But also it's important to have mentors and coaches. And I have some myself and I recommend them. And that's why I do what I do, because I know there's many people out there that struggle with different things they're facing in business and also across between business and entrepreneurial life and their life and business, because it's a balance. And that's why I got my PhD in entrepreneurology, because that's the study of entrepreneurship. And that's why I found it so important that I get this, because it made so much sense for how I serve my clients and the results that I can get them. So it's key, because that it gives our, when we use all the tools, and we're talking about tools, it's all tools. We all have our own individual tools that we grow, right? We learn and develop these different tools, just like each individual, each entrepreneur, each individual person, we all have our gifts and talents that we have, and we're all unique. So it's important to utilize these. These are tools. These are tools, ladies and gentlemen. So learn to use reflection as a tool. You learn to use planning days in your business as a tool to keep you on course, keeping you achieving each milestone. Each incremental win bolsters your confidence and gives you that power to move forward and take on the next challenge and continue on. Because again, you're going to face challenges, but when you have the plans and those planning days, that keeps you on track. And it's really important to be able to judge where you are in tracking these. So I really want to tell you, it helps your brain, right? To be able to space and organize. It's like a file, right? It's like a file. And for you to use the planning days to be able to do this and reflect on everything that has happened this past week. So once it's gone, right? You look at what happened this past week or this past month, and you utilize it as a tool. But then after that, it goes into the archive. You file it away. Once you've learned to use what you could and get the most out of it, and then release it. Just release the other stuff and utilize what suits you best now. Because as we learn and grow as entrepreneurs and individuals, right? As we learn and grow, some of the old things and the old ways that we did things and the way that we thought about things, those beliefs, right? Our belief windows, how we used to see the world, how we used to see our lives, how we used to see our businesses or our opportunities. As we learn and grow, some of these things may no longer serve us. They may not fit the person or the business person that we have become, because we have, as I teach my clients and I say, I help people to be able to evolve, get from one place to where they want to be, and then elevate even further to the next level. And that's what it's all about. It's all about having this. And that's why I'm talking about, with you ladies and gentlemen today. So I want to share a method with you that I use. I want you to try this. It's the 3-lens reflection method. So I recommend journaling. that as it helps keep everything, everything that we have that goes on a daily basis. I recommend daily journaling and keeping track so that we can, at the end of each day, sit down and download. Basically, it's a daily download of what happened that day, how things worked, if there's anything you need to move to your calendar for the next day. But using journaling. So I have my growth and gratitude journal that has 30 days of journaling prompts in it for people, because it is so very important. It's a great habit. And habits make up 40% of everything we do every single day. And people don't realize that 40% of what we do are habits, and they come out of habits and rituals, and utilizing, right? And working with our habits and creating the habits that are going to get us the best results. That's what it's all about. And that helps us to have the resilience, because again, if we take time on our planning day and look back at what we did for journaling this past week, this past month, if we look over that and then we say, hey, from our planning day, and we can pinpoint, hey, and that's where it can go. The conversation I had with so-and-so, oh, I wish I would have approached them in a different manner, from a different state of mind or mindset. I wish I would have reviewed the different, whatever I was that I had been working with them in more in depth before that next conversation. These are ways that, again, these tools can be so very powerful in your business to get you the results that you are looking for. So that's why I'm sharing this with you guys today. So back to that, looking at your journal and trying to teach people these tips and tactics. So looking back, what am I proud of this month? Whether it's big, whether it's big or small, what is it that I'm proud of for this past week or this past month? Then look within, what am I ready? What is it that's been going on that I need to change, that I'm ready to let go, that I'm ready to let go, or maybe I need to edit and revise it so it's going to be more impactful, right? So it is important to really think about these things when you learn this, and you'll get this from when you journal. Again, it can be a very, very powerful tool. So I'm just really trying to drill that point that it is important, and to do it with planning days. And then the looking ahead, what do I want to feel at the end of this next week? What do I want to have accomplished? If you're looking at what your week consists of, what is it that I want to be feeling at the end of this week? Thinking, again, we all know, think of the end in mind. At the end of this week, what do you want to be celebrating? What do you want to be celebrating? And put the celebration into your planner or calendar. Celebrate, plan, set out time that you're going to celebrate whatever it is that you want to achieve that week. Put it in your planner and calendar, when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, how you're going to spend your time, your money, and your energy for this celebration. Budget and put the spending plan together on what it is that you're going to do to celebrate, because that's what it's all about. Celebrating those wins, those small ones and the big, bold, bodacious ones. It's really important. So these are the tips and tactics that I have been wanting to share with you for in talking about resilience with everyone today. So I'm sharing that anybody who wants to make an appointment with me, there'll be a link available for you to be able to make an appointment with me. And then when you book out the time, and it's for a power call, I call it a power call, to be able to put an appointment in my calendar, and then I will be sending you a form just to fill in so that I can have some information about what it is and where where things may be, coming off rail for you so I can help you get everything back on track. Because that's what it's all about. I want to be able to help as many people to be able to, these entrepreneurs, to be able to have that work-life balance, to be able to leverage those KPIs, to get more joy in your life, but live the life of your dreams. I'm so happy that I was able to be here with you, and I am looking forward to hearing from everyone. Have a wonderful day.